All right, guys, continuing on with the Your Shoes Are Destroying Your Feet article. If you did not catch the last video, I would check that one out first because that is where I talk about all the negative features of the traditional footwear that people wear today. This video is going to be touching more on the positive features of what my personal solution is to the negative footwear that we were just talking about. So to, I guess, wrap it up on the last video about the negative features of regular shoes, what all those aforementioned features do is they basically contort our feet into positions that are completely unnatural to them. This is why you'll actually hear a lot of people in this space call shoes foot coffins or foot casts, because that's really what it does. Your feet are binded into shoes that do not fit them. They force them into unnatural positions. They alter different muscle lengths, different bone structures, and they kind of change the natural mechanics of the feet. So this ends up with us being in pain, and it ends up kind of creating this complicated web that starts at the feet, I'm sorry, because there are so many issues all compounded into one that it starts to feel complicated because you don't know where your pain is coming from. And even when people like me come along and tell you it's your shoes, it's still like, doesn't quite make sense. It's like, well, why do I have all these separate issues then? And I'm telling you why. So those issues are the negative features from the last video. Now, what my solution is to this is that obviously, if I'm proposing that your shoes are the cause of all of those problems, plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, collapsed arches, neuromas, hammer toes, all these different things, then obviously what we need to do is get rid of those shoes. We need to replace them somehow. We need something better. So what I propose that everyone is going to need to do if you want to get out of pain and you don't want to just be living in orthotics forever, you don't want to be living in, I don't know, Birkenstocks or thick, over-structured shoes that basically pillow your feet up so you're not in pain. What I'm proposing is that to get strong, you need to ditch the traditional footwear and you need to embrace minimalist / barefoot footwear. This is the only way that you're going to get strong. You have to get out of the cast and you have to get into something that is going to teach your foot itself to be strong again. The barefoot shoes are just a vehicle to teach your feet to be strong on their own. It's not really about the shoes. It's about empowering your feet. Traditional footwear disempowers your feet. It makes them weak. We're trying to empower them so you can walk around your house barefoot again without pain. You can run without pain. You don't need to stretch daily or roll your feet out daily, whatever. We're trying to get away from that. So anyway, that is the solution to my problem, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. I'm basically going to counter all the negative points of the traditional footwear and tell you why barefoot footwear is better. Again, not a lot of elaboration here. Please check out the article below if you want the elaboration. This is going to be a quick rundown for the sake of time, because we could be here for hours, honestly. Anyway, barefoot shoes, wide toe box. One of the most important things in your shoes. You must have a wide toe box. The toe being pinched in is the cause of so many problems. It is literally unnameable how many issues come from that. So again, check the article for that. The zero drop sole in barefoot shoes. This is very important because, like I talked about, traditional footwear has a elevated heel, completely unnatural again. And what we really want is a flat sole that is adjustable, that is flexible, because that's what our foot is. Our foot wants to lay flat when it can, but it has the ability to change because it is flexible, because that is how it remains strong, by being flexible. So we want something that still allows our foot that ability. So the zero drop sole, ball of the foot, and heel are on the same plane as they should be. There is no limiting heel counter in barefoot shoes, which is, again, not the biggest feature to most people, but I like to mention it just because. There is no toe spring in a good pair of barefoot shoes. Now, I understand this isn't all pairs, but I would advise that you look for shoes that do not have toe spring. This is a negative feature. Your toes should not be lifted into the air. That's ridiculous. And it actually causes issues. People with turf toe, with hallux limitus, with bunions, this is something that's going to be painful. You can't have toe spring because it is just yet another clamping feature on your toes. No toe spring in barefoot shoes. I already alluded to, next point, the thin and flexible sole. This is going to be very important. Your foot should always be able to express itself. It should be able to bend up or back, and it should be able to bend down. Dorsiflex, plantarflex, it should be able to do both. Traditional footwear, to be honest with you, does neither. They would claim that it dorsiflexes. I would hardly claim that. It barely moves. Barefoot shoes are so flexible that you can literally roll them up almost like a towel for plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, like I just said. Okay, huge point here. No built-in arch support. We want a flat sole, and we do not want fake arch support. Arch supports are honestly a myth. I don't know why people still believe in it, but supporting an arch from the bottom is not a real thing. Arches are supported from the sides. Pressure pushing in is what creates a strong arch. That's why when you have healthy arches in your feet, it's because your toes have power and they can scrunch. The scrunch is what engages the muscles and makes it strong in your foot arch. Supporting it from the bottom, pushing up, is not a strong arch. It's actually a weak arch. It's a dependent arch. So again, no arch support in barefoot shoes, and rightfully so. Last point is that there is no large clunky heel, as I alluded to in the last video. Heel striking is not natural. It's very painful and it's very hard on our joints. Heel elevation is not natural. Heel padding is not natural. All these things are unnatural that are added to traditional footwear. So having them removed is where we should be, because we want to be striking the forefoot or midfoot when we walk. Last point that's not really mentioned is lightweight. Barefoot shoes are always lightweight, as they should be. All footwear that you wear should be lightweight. Carrying something that weighs like a couple pounds is very unnatural, putting more strain on your legs. So anyways, those are the points of barefoot shoes that I believe in. That is exactly why I believe that they're the solution to all of your foot pain issues. They're not the only solution. You probably will have to do other things to help yourself out, and that's why I'm here. You can always contact me. You can always message me. I have multiple different platforms where I'm available to answer your questions. I offer different services as well. And basically, what I will leave you with is a link to the article that I'm alluding to. I might even throw in a link to my email newsletter, because that is what I'm reading off of now. I wrote a nice little summary for my subscribers to read. And I probably will also leave too the barefoot shoes that I do recommend to people that I wear personally myself, which are Zero Shoes. That is the company I believe the most in. I wear them whenever I can. And yeah, they certainly helped me get out of pain myself. And I would recommend that you give them a try too if you are having similar struggles to what I had. But anyway, that's it for now. Those are the problems, solutions, and resources that I can give you. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Check out the description or contact me anywhere else. I highly recommend that you read the article, though. It's going to be way more detailed than this is. But anyway, I will see you in the next one.